My groupmates tried to screw me over and tried to take credit for my work. Now, they are begging me to come back because I took all the codes and caused them to fail the class. I do a computer science degree at university. We had a group work project which is set out in 2 stages. Part A involved making an application and writing a report about it, 50-50 split. Part B, we got feedback from Part A and had to improve upon it. In total, it was 100% of a module. It is also important to note that there is a group contribution report, GCR, where each student puts in how much they think each student has done. I was in a randomly selected group with 4 others. We each picked parts of the work that we wanted to do. I was apparently the group's most confident coder, so assigned myself about half of the code and finish up my work in about the first 3 weeks and work on other projects I have for other modules. Then soon after I finished my work, the others asked me if I could do their parts of the code too. I initially protested as I had my other coursework due, but eventually, I said fine, but so long as it is noted in the GCR they all agreed. I sweated out over the next 3 weeks or so alongside my other coursework. I contacted my module organizer explaining that I had done half the work and they suggested if people weren't pulling their weight to leave the group, taking my code with me, and do the report. That would mean I would need to work flat out to produce the report and probably would mess it up. I didn't want that. The deadline was in about a week, and honestly ICBA. Then I got asked to do some reports too, because they didn't understand how the code worked. By this point, I felt pretty used by them. Didn't really mind so long as I got the marks. All in all, I worked out that I had done the workload of 3 people. There was talk amongst the others of all writing that we each contributed 20% of the workload to make us look better as a team. I flatly refused. They exploded calling me every name under the sun, swearing at me, and telling me to F off. I sent off my GCR with 60 for me and 10 each for the rest, and thought that was that. My module organizer then emailed me asking if I had any proof of this, as they all put me at 0% and myself at 25%. I'd worked my butt off on this project, putting in 150 plus hours on the code and another 50 plus on the diagrams and report, all while attending lectures 20 hours a week, over 7 weeks, which if you do that maths averages at an extra 4 hours a day. On top of all my other assignments and commitments etc., there was no way I was letting it slide. I emailed him back linking him to the GitHub I used to share the code with the team. GitHub is a source control that shows who made changes to the code, and showed him that all the commits, version of the code, were done by me, proving that I did all of it. And thankfully we did the whole report on Google Drive so I could also see the history on that document and send him screenshots of all the alterations made by me, proving that I wrote 20% of the report also. He added it all up and made a special exception for my group, saying he would give me the most credit for the work. I think I ended up with a 65 and they all get 11 for the whole coursework. Part A they would need 69% to even pass the module. So turned out I messed up a bit on the code, only getting about 50% of the marks with a massive issue in it. Dumb me. For anyone interested, I didn't make an MVC structure correctly, but my report sections were near perfect. Spelling mistakes and formatting etc. There were a few glaring mistakes from the report that they had written, but other than that not bad. When they found out their marks they started calling me up and emailing me and messaging me almost for about 3 hours. I was happily out at the time and didn't have my phone with me so didn't respond. My module organizer sent an email explaining that they had lied and he had proof of it, so corrected the marks according. When I got